Hare Krishna. Prabhu, if you allow, may I just take a minute?
Sure.
Okay, so thank you, devotees, for joining us for Throwback Thursday, and we are very fortunate to have His Grace Vaishnavananda Nitai Prabhu with us. I've been very fortunate. We have stayed together during our old brahmachari days before we moved in to Grihasthashram. And so Prabhu has been practicing Krishna consciousness for close to 16 years now, and a very avid Bhakti-Viksha preacher. He's been recognized with the prestigious Abhiram Thakur Award, also one of the recognized trainers in South India for IDC course. And I think it goes without saying that a lot of devotees under his care are now Bhakti-Viksha preachers and leading yatras in different parts of the world. So very happy that as Prabhu goes down his memory lane and brings out various cherished memories of his association with Guru Maharaj, some before and some after. I remember during the stay when we were together and Prabhu had moved in for his office work, and he had a wonderful association at Anihati, and we used to cherish those when Prabhu came up and shared. I'm looking forward to hearing from him. So I'm very happy, Prabhu, that you're with us today. So I'd like to take forward, you can, and maybe towards the end, if you can keep some 10 minutes for some question answers, that will be very nice, actually. Over to you, Prabhu. Thank you again. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, Anadi Jagannath Prabhu. And so first, I would like to offer prayers for seeking the blessings from the Guru Parampara and from the Lordship, so that may my piece of knowledge and my realization that I'm sharing be of some help and use in each one of our Krishna conscious journey. So with that, I'm just seeking the blessings of the Guru Parampara. Om Agyanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalagaya Chakshurunvinitam mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuddha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamcha Shri Rupam Sahrajatam Sahagana Raguna Kanvitam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpadarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vrishthaya Bhutale Srimate Jaya Pataka Swami Niti Namine Namo Acharya Padaya Nitai Prabhu Gaura Katha Damadaya Nagara Gramathayane Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vrishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, thank you. First of all, I would like to offer my thanks and pranams to all the organizers of Iskcon Seshadripuram for inviting me and giving me this wonderful opportunity. And especially sharing about a wonderful Vaishnava Guru glories of Guru Maharaj is always nectarian, and it's something which is time bound, is sometimes a constraint. So, because these are glories that can never end, and it is, even as you all would know for sure, that even Anantadev with multiple hoods and multiple mouths, even if he can stop glorifying some pure devotee of the Lord and the Lord's glory, there would never be an end to it. But it's a wonderful opportunity, so I'll try my best to share a glimpse of one of the very, very powerful journey in my Krishna conscious experience, which happened to be in the year 2008. So I'm going to share a small deck which might take you along while I share some stuff. So I just want to have a quick check if Anadi Jagannath Prabhu, if my voice is clear enough, and can I?
Loud and clear, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so when I reflect upon the journey in my Krishna conscious experience, I just realized more strong and convincingly day by day, it is Mukam Karoti Vacalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Sri Guru Dinatarinam. It is the costless mercy of our dear Guru Maharaj, which is our saving grace. That shloka is so powerful, and all of you are preachers and practicing devotees. You would know the meaning and the in-depth of that shloka. That is, even a lame can climb mountains, even a dumb can speak. That is the mercy of the spiritual master. That is possible only by the mercy of the spiritual master. If at all a dumb like me is attempting to share, it is by the costless mercy of our dear spiritual master, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. So, it is possible by the mercy of a spiritual master, even a demon can be delivered. So one of such demon who is in the path of getting delivered by his mercy is myself, Vaishnavananda Nitai Prabhu. So I'm just going to share you one small reflection of my few different sevas that I have done in the Vapu, which was maybe lava matra in nature, but there are few things which are quite significant in number of time and days by his costless mercy. So I'm going to take you back in time in 2008, where this was pre-stroke, before the stroke which Guru Maharaj went through. It so happened that I happened to be in US as a part of my job, and it's a very long story. Just that first part itself I shared recently for almost 1 hour. So I'm going to make it very crisp to the point. So while I was in my job, I was so eager that I had a desire, very intense desire, because I had this understanding that when Guru Maharaj is in India, especially Mayapur or Bangalore or any places, there will be huge bunch of devotees like buzzing around. So I always had this desire and the feeling that if at all Guru Maharaj comes in US, probably this was something which I heard. So I had this strong feeling that probably if I had a chance to meet Guru Maharaj in the Western world, when I am here, that would be the fantastic time to get his association. That was my very strong desire from my day one. So, so in such circumstance, while I was in United States called Kansas City, so while I was working in a place called Kansas City in United States, I had desire to travel to Atlanta because I got to know that Guru Maharaj is coming to Atlanta. So I kind of gathered few devotees from Kansas City and I planned a lot of things. And they all said, we will go by car from here, drive down to Atlanta, and we will also have the darshan of Jayapata Maharaj. So that was the understanding we had. And that point in time, I was there in US with a small amount of a stipend salary. So, and while I was there, at that time, we all were ready to go the next day, and it so happened that the devotees who had planned to come along with me by vehicle to Atlanta, in the last minute, unfortunately, they had to drop off. They said there is a family circumstance, this, that, and everyone have to drop off. And it was left only with me who have to travel. And the reason I'm saying this particular incident is because my desire was intensely burning that I need to get Guru Maharaj, because that's my only hope. And I was a bachelor by then, like Anadi Prabhu said. And I just decided to go and meet him. When I looked at the price for the flight to go from there, because it was just one day, it was almost 75% of my salary, 1 month salary, for me to go for this two up, down. And it was so testing my attachment towards money. Then I made up my mind that by the strong teachings from my Siksha Gurus, I was always under the guidance of His Grace Chaitanya Nitai Prabhu, Mataji. So they have always taught the basic lesson that you should intensely try to serve the spiritual master, no matter of whatever circumstance you be in. So that kind of kept ringing in my ears. So then that kind of kept ringing in my ears, and then I decided that I will take up this flight, irrespective of the cost. Let me fly down. And the most challenging piece there was I did not have a place to stay, and I had no one whom I know in Atlanta where I can take shelter of. The only person whom I know in Atlanta at that point in time was our dear Guru Maharaj, no one else. And absolutely no one else. But anyway, I had this strong feeling. Anyway, I'm a brahmachari, doesn't matter. I had no need of any luxurious place for me to stay. I can just get fit in anywhere in a small bench if I can get a small bench. That was the desire. And I chose one of the economical flight at that time, which itself was quite expensive, just to say that. Then I landed at 1 a.m., middle of the night. And I had no place to stay. And I just told and the Atlanta airport was so huge, I went out with a lot of struggle anyways, that cutting the story short. I went out of the airport, and there one person came in front of the just exit of the airport. He just came and said, get in, get in, get in. I can take you anywhere. Get in, get in, get in. I was clueless. I was such a young buck at that time. I could not distinguish what is a right taxi and what is not. And I just boarded in at 1 a.m. And then he said that, so you have the map. I hope you know where to go, and you have the map. And 2008, to just recollect, there was no GPS as powerful as what we have today. And 2008, I had this opportunity of being in this very weird taxi in US who did not have a GPS. That itself indicated me that's not a genuine one. Then he said that you have to show me the map. And the test of the time was my battery was running low. And anyway, I didn't have a GPS enabled phone as well, 2008 again. So I had to just call one of my friend back in Kansas City, asking him in middle of the night, open and say, where is Iskcon Atlanta? And I was just praying to Guru Maharaj that I just need to reach there. I know somehow things will be taken care by then. Then at middle of the night, I'm just traveling and he is guiding me over phone. I'm telling the taxi driver, take left, take right, and so and so and so. And the taxi driver was literally yelling at me at all possible ways. And eventually, I just remember that Ponce D, something, the name of that, even now, Ponce D Avenue or something like that. So I could recollect that name. I just told him and I just entered that location. The vehicle started moving slowly to that and my phone switched off. My friend who was guiding me had no clue furthermore how to guide and I didn't have a phone and there ends. And we are just moving slowly. Trust me, this is Guru Maharaj mercy. At 1:30 approximately, I could hear a Harinam Kirtan. I know I was clueless where is temple and I could hear a Harinam Kirtan at 1:30 a.m. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. It was like I really felt the home away from home, the umbrella which Srila Prabhupada has built where the whole world can fit in. I just went there and I said, this is the place, just drop me nearby. That's all I told him. And I just paid him. He was not happy with my payment. I just paid him more and finally settled him, whatever. And I just went and I really felt that I was sheltered by the devotees there. That was the mercy of being within the beautiful umbrella of Srila Prabhupada. Then the interesting version happened. Someone was talking in my mother tongue, which is Tamil. So they were saying, tomorrow we will make idli for Guru Maharaj. So on hearing that, I felt like, oh, someone is here, someone known to me, probably let me just talk. And I just said, Prabhu, why are you all here doing kirtan in middle of the night? That was my very curious, and I was just, that was my very first question I asked him. And he said, oh, okay, come Prabhu, you come for festival, just come. And he said, be here. And he didn't explain me the very moment, he just said, come. And then immediately there is a boom, so much of buzz happening around. I was like wondering, and Guru Maharaj came. And that kirtan was actually happening for Guru Maharaj to invite. And this person whom I just met, and he said, come Prabhu, I think you are, just help me in taking all Guru Maharaj luggage inside. I said, okay, that's a wonderful service. So I just went and started taking the Guru Maharaj luggage. And I went inside along with them. And the beauty is this. I went and at the middle of the night, devotees also started doing Guru Puja for Guru Maharaj. At that time, I think he was traveling from Europe, if I'm not wrong. So he was traveling from Europe and he landed and he was actually tired, but still, as always, he was so magnanimously, mercifully accepting that Guru Puja in the late night. And they did the Pada Puja for Guru Maharaj. And then there were almost, should be around 35, 40 devotees around that time. And this devotee who initially spoke to me, he said, Prabhu, please ask, now Guru Puja is done, please ask everyone to go and you can assist me. That's all he said. I was like, wow, so nice. I just requested Prabhu, the others to kindly step out because it was getting late for Guru Maharaj to take rest and all of that particular incident. I just requested them to stay back. And then they all stayed out. And then he said, don't worry about your stay. You can be with the servants here. So, and whatever service they would be assigning you, you can do it. Wow. This fulfilled my desire by the costless mercy of Guru Maharaj. You know, a lot of time, this is my small reflection and a plea to all of you. A lot of time we would be in such a situation that, you know, how things would be happening materially. I didn't usually, those of you who have worked with me closely, you know for sure, I generally believe in a lot of structured way of working, but when it comes to getting the mercy of the Lord or the spiritual master, throw away such thought process. Be just surrender to the situation and be open to the flow, how the life is taking you by the mercy of your spiritual master, and never ever forego on your spiritual desires. So I just took that very closely to my heart, and and that's what the journey took me through. And I felt like it was so I felt so spiritually vibrant that day, because I couldn't sleep that night because I was living with the servants of Guru Maharaj, with serving the opportunity to serve Guru Maharaj. That's how the journey began. That was costless mercy of Guru Maharaj. And then what brings me is the next few days of incident that I'm going to share. Probably you can look at what's happening on the screen. So these are the beautiful deities in Iskcon Panihati, New Panihati Dham. That's what Srila Prabhupada named that location as. Iskcon New Panihati Dham. It's so powerful, the way that the temple itself has its own beautiful history, why the name of New Panihati Dham came for this particular location. And ever since those beautiful instruction of Srila Prabhupada and manifestation of this temple took place, a lot of sincere followers of Srila Prabhupada give wonderful shape to this Panihati festival. I may not be talking the reason for that temple or the name, that is probably slightly a different topic. But in 1981 onwards, our dear Guru Maharaj took a lot of responsibility in making this more popular and celebrating this Panihati in a big scale. And eventually now they are celebrating almost 45, if I'm not wrong, it's 45th year, close to that. Somewhere in 40 plus, to be in very safe in number. So in the preceding deities are Gaur Nitai deities, and which is slightly rare to see, and they are so merciful. They are so very merciful. And this picture down that you see is the one which I happened to take on the very next day when Guru Maharaj was giving Bhagavatam class. The day started for me this way, that I was just outside. I didn't need to worry for my stay because I was staying with Guru Maharaj's servants, and it was so fortunate opportunity. And the next day morning, one of the devotees who helped me, he just said that you be with Guru Maharaj and ensure that his timely medicines are being taken. And I still remember those words, your timely medicines have been taken, and they gave me the bag, which is Guru Maharaj's very personal bag. And I'll be showing about that in a few minutes. They said, be with him, with his, those days he had even this danda carried along. So the two things that I was carrying was his danda and his bag, and it was so fortunate and a memorable incident. So then you can see in Panihati, one of the very beautiful reason, I would highly encourage all of you should try visiting once, because this is the place where our dear Guru Maharaj personally cooks and serves devotees, one of the place. And I regret for one thing, on that particular occasion, I also had the wonderful opportunity to be with him, and Guru Maharaj mentioned that, why don't you just leave the bag and just come and help me in cooking? So I was so excited, and I just jumped in and I started supporting. This was actually the day 2. I'll come to the day 2, but I'm just jumping a bit just to give you all the reason for this beautiful occasion. But you know, all of those memories are just captured in with me in my own memory, and probably I don't have a picture for that. But if at all I am in Krishna conscious today, because of the prasadam, which was the boga, which was prepared by Guru Maharaj with his own hands and distributed, that is what is keeping me in Krishna consciousness even till date. So Jesus saw then actually the day 1, as I was saying, that was the Bhagavatam class, and the further to the Bhagavatam class, it was actually a little bit of a time, and then there was Ratha Yatra getting arranged. Ratha Yatra was getting planned. And just before Guru Maharaj going for Ratha Yatra, there were a lot of devotees who had come, lot of senior devotees, lot of Srila Prabhupada devotees, disciples had come to meet Guru Maharaj. And the one interesting thing was Guru Maharaj always just kept calling me, saying that, you know, take down his contact, take down that person's contact, and this and that. And it was so powerful, and I can't imagine how the day went. I'm sure a lot of you would have experienced it. When you are with Guru Maharaj, you cannot realize how the day is going. And as the Ratha Yatra was just about to begin and all of it, and I just happened to go there just before Guru Maharaj, because they told me to just ensure that certain things are in the right order, and me and one of the devotee by name Iskcon Prabhu, and he's there in this picture. You know, we both went to check if everything is arranged in a way that Guru Maharaj can, you know, climb on to the Ratha, and some of these kind of small little tests. And everyone thought I was a local devotees were always of that impression or the understanding, at least to my level, that I was along with Guru Maharaj servant team, and that's why I was supporting always with this, and I was doing all the support seva. And then when I was there in that particular venue where Guru Maharaj is going to come shortly for the Ratha Yatra, I was so impressed the way the Ratha Yatra happened. You know, Lordship came in limousine. Jagannath had this center picture. You can see a huge limousine. Limousine is a big car. In this long, big car, actually, Jagannath was there. And the other second long, big car, Baladev was there, and another long, big car. It was Shubhadra Harani was there. And there was one other, which I didn't take the picture, which had, in that car, we had Srila Prabhupada and I think Sudarshan. So they were all together. So this is how grand it was, and it was so hot. It was so hot. Devotees were literally, you know, it's and everyone was having a fan with a sprayer. You know, that's how hot it was, and it was so busy with so much powerful kirtaniyas around, and a lot of happenings were felt. It was so powerful. And then Guru Maharaj came. In this happening moment when the kirtan was at its top, Guru Maharaj arrived. And Guru Maharaj arrived, and Guru Maharaj climbed on to the Jagannath Rath. And again, I had this fortune. Guru Maharaj handed over this bag, and he was there on the top. And he was there on the top, but he was so mindful of every single jiva that is walking by. Every single jiva who were walking by. And it was a big park at that time, which in this particular year. And this was the bag. You may see that bag which I was wearing. The reason I just put that bag with me and this picture is Guru Maharaj had a very, very systematic way of collecting data. And in spite of how busy situation it was, he used to tell me that go collect this color book in this page, write down their contact. And if a medical practitioner, if he happened to meet a medical practitioner and any of them, he would say that collect this medical practitioner name in such and such page number in this particular book. Yeah, he had different colors of book. All of us are preachers, are practicing preachers. Guru Maharaj has a very, very, very systematic way of collecting information and to care for devotees, most importantly. And he was just caring at all times. Even when he was way up on the Ratha cart, he used to call out saying that, he used to give me a packet of prasadam, like as all of you would know better, that how they distribute prasadam as a part of Ratha Yatra. So he used to call me out and just say that, give this particular Mahaprasadam to that particular person who is sitting in the bench. So he was not missing out to give the mercy. People who were in the park, he just ensured that people who are having the glimpse of the darshan, even if they are sitting at the bench, he said that go give this prasadam to them there. And they were just, this was my beautiful service that I was continuously doing all throughout the Ratha. And then he got down from the Ratha, that's you can see, as he got down, then he started doing the kirtan, the very roaring, exciting kirtan. And there were so many devotees from entire park, they all just got together and asking for his blessings and asking for his Mahaprasadam. And Guru Maharaj, as you all may know, that he had this Narshima oil, which he always carried, and he started applying everyone. He was just giving the mercy. And the time passed by, and as the time passed by, he just eventually, came to the finishing zone of the. He just came to the finishing zone of this Ratha Yatra, and where he just stopped by and he was just started talking with different devotees. He was just started talking with different devotees who were new bhaktas, and that's when I had this opportunity. And he was so humble and selfless, I would say, in spite of his sleepless night. And what he did, he just spread out a chadar on the floor. He just spread out a simple chadar on the floor and he was taking rest. That's when I had the opportunity to do his massage for his lotus feet. And then the day was going this way. It was so busy. And slowly my heart started feeling that I've been with Guru Maharaj from morning and it's almost one whole day is going to come to an end. I'm still Guru Maharaj, this is that the I side of the human side of me, where which is seeking the attention, was thinking, Guru Maharaj did not ask me who am I or where did I, what is this, nothing he asked. I was having this very subtle back of my mind, this feeling. But then I thought, come on, this is not a Vaishnava way of thinking. You shouldn't be thinking like this. I was trying to beat my mind by saying you are here to serve the spiritual master, not to seek your name. And then slowly I was just doing his massage and I was continuing. Then that night, the evening, there was a beautiful Prabhupada Katha, and there was a wonderful cultural show which Guru Maharaj personally sat and watched throughout the particular thing. And next day morning, it was very early in the morning, soon after Mangalarti. I mean, we were back in action with Guru Maharaj in his service. And this time we were just trying to make all this Panihati. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for now. This was then, we had this Panihati celebration on the day 2, where the cooking aspect of the whole seva started, and we had this wonderful opportunity to be with Guru Maharaj and cook along with Guru Maharaj. And there is a lot of aspects that I was learning, how Guru Maharaj is so patiently dealing each of the situation. And there were particular few incidents that I would just like to narrate in this context. Is he was having a breakfast and he was distributing the Mahaprasadam, and he was so very careful. At the same time, he was so very merciful to whom he was distributing. He asked me a couple of occasions in that situation of, he gave me this fortunate opportunity to carry this Mahaprasadam to distribute to some of them in particular, to help them. And one particular incident, one Mataji who came to Guru Maharaj at that point in time and said that, Guru Maharaj, I've been going through some challenge. I had dropped an email to you, and I believe that you had some chance to look into it. And immediately Guru Maharaj gave his Mahaprasadam a little bit to her, and also told that give this to your son, who was standing right next to her, and they had. And then Guru Maharaj said, which really touched my heart, I pray every day for all my disciples, aspiring disciples, and all my well-wishers and all the devotees of Iskcon on a daily basis to their lordship. This is his magnanimous heart. And that really made me feel very, very special, that, you know, how nicely he is praying for every single person. And if at all we are, a lot of us whom I had seen in my small journey of Krishna consciousness, lot of us, if at all we are practicing Krishna consciousness today, some point in time, some Vaishnavas prayed for us and they had given us that Sukruti. That is the seed that which has helped us to practice this Krishna consciousness today. It is not the karma, it is not our punya karma which is practicing us, it is the costless mercy of the spiritual master. This reminds me a beautiful pastime of Srila Prabhupada. I will just quickly share that and then come back. Once someone reached out to Srila Prabhupada saying that, Prabhupada, this Krishna consciousness is so nice and so jubilant. I'm so happy. I can imagine how fortunate I am to be with this. I can imagine the fortune that I have done in the past. I can so see the fortune that I have gathered in the previous life that is making me to practice. And Prabhupada just showed the hand, and this is what I had scene of the red, where Prabhupada just mentioned to him, saying that I had given you that fortune. It is not our fortune which was gathered based on the previous birth and all that. Srila Prabhupada said, it is I had given you that fortune. If we are practicing devotional life today, it is the costless mercy of the spiritual master, the fortune, the sukruti, which is given by the Vaishnavas. So this day, on the day 2, there was also this initiation was going to happen on I think it was next day or something. The initiation was planned and there were a lot of initiation screening was going on. And my heart was still feeling that, I'm doing something once in a while. That mind, which is disturbed of bodily identification, kept on craving. I am not able to interact and I am not able to share something with Guru Maharaj. That kind of a feeling was there at the corner of my heart. And in such circumstance, it was around the lunch hour. And it was actually, to tell you all the sequence. So basically what happened after this Boga was offered and a super vibrant Kirtan happened. And after the vibrant Kirtan, then we had this auction of all the Panihati pots. After that, we had this initiation discussion which was going on between the temple management, some of the senior leaders who were there. And I also happened to be there. And then some of the names, when Guru Maharaj was shortlisting, he was just engaging me by asking, is this a common name in India? Is this a common name? How do you say this? And it was so much he was engaging me. And also he gave me to go through some of the question papers and answer sheets and asked me to evaluate some of them, and some kind of support he had engaged me in. And all this I was quite, very diligently doing. And at one point in time, when he was having his lunch, it was one of the senior member from the temple who came and said, she was, it was a Mataji. She was just reading out the names for Guru Maharaj for the who are all going to take initiation and the beads and some discussion like this. And she noticed me and she asked me this question. Hey, Prabhu, I've been seeing you for last 2 days. Okay, you all know my background, what situation I was in. So I have been seeing you for last 2 days. Are you here for taking initiation or what's the plan? That was her question. And Guru Maharaj, I was, like I told you, I had this feeling, do Guru Maharaj know me and all this. Guru Maharaj, before even I answered to that Mataji's question, Guru Maharaj just looked at her and said, he's my disciple, took initiation couple of months before in Mayapur. I was zapped. I was zapped. Antargyami. Vaishnavas, a pure devotee like Guru Maharaj or Antargyami, they know. They know actually. Don't think that I am a very insignificant servant. I don't know if Guru Maharaj is aware of my prayers. Is Guru Maharaj is aware of my whatever I am preaching? Is Guru Maharaj is aware of my whatever I am trying to do for him as a service? Somebody is stopping me. They are stopping me. My preaching efforts are not being highlighted. All these are just mind's game due to material nature. Vaishnavas, Shuddha Vaishnavas like Guru Maharaj, pure devotees are Trikalanyanis and Antargyami. They know what is running in our heart. And they know. And the most surprising point was, he said that he took initiation a couple of months back at Mayapur. I was amazed. I never even thought that Guru Maharaj would know to that extent, that too at his peak of his, travel and peak of his preaching. He remembers every single person. And when I took initiation, probably it was 100 plus. I'm sure minimum 100 plus. I don't remember the exact number, but bare minimum it was 100 plus. And he remembered. And during that initiation interview, he those days, at least when I took around 2007, he actually personally scanned each of this paper. And remember, it was in 2007 I took initiation, and Guru Maharaj said it in 2008 June, Panihati. That's not. I mean, it's so. That shows how transcendental person we are dealing with. And when we pray to Guru Maharaj, it's actually all our obstacles are removed. There are many, many more incidences that happen in my life with connection with Guru Maharaj. And, just furthermore, in the interest of time, I'm just going to share only very particular incidents, cutting the stories around. So, one other thing further to that was, that the next day I was about to leave from Panihat, from this new Atlanta, new Panihati Dham. And Guru Maharaj was also about to leave the next day. My flight was slightly after Guru Maharaj's flight. In between, he is traveling to some other place and he was going to New York. And what happened was the night when he was having his dinner, I was every moment, after the afternoon lunch, it was only initiation ceremonies, all of service that I did for Guru Maharaj and supporting that. And then the night when he had his dinner, after his dinner, I was pouring jug of water for him with a bowl to wash his hands. And he washed his hands and I was standing right towards his left-hand side. I was pouring the hand and Guru Maharaj was washing his hands like this. And then Guru Maharaj held the hand of mine and just dragged me and hugged me so tightly. He hugged me so tightly and he said, which made me to literally break down eventually in the spiritual feeling, in the gratitude, feeling of gratitude. He said, thank you for all the service that you did. Thank you for all the service that you did. I was almost heart touched, literally. I just kept the jug right down and I just fell flat at his feet. And I just told him that, please bless me that I remain always in your service. And he hugged me again, once again, so tightly and just took the danda from my hand. I mean, in the sense, he just took his danda and he just blessed me. And it was so powerful. It was so very powerful. And there were minor details, which is very, very, these are some of the things which you can experience. And sometimes it is really difficult to express. I can tell about a mango, how it tastes. Unless you taste it, you cannot relish the mango that I may describe. It's like that. It was so very, very, very unique moments. Then it didn't stop there. That's the beginning of my Krishna conscious Bhakti Vriksha journey in association with Guru Maharaj. Then it is stopped there. Then further to that, what happened, and the next day morning, he just spoke to me for almost 20 minutes. He actually spent exclusively with me for 20 minutes, asking what's happening, where are you from? and what's your preaching plans are, where are you preaching? And he pretty much got every aspect of my preaching details. That gave me so much of motivation. And I asked him to offer prayers for all my members that time in time. So that's how the journey actually took place. And then what happened is, then I left the next day morning after his conversation. He left around early morning and I was left. But the second interesting piece is, he traveled to New York after a few days. I went back. You know, when you start serving a pure devotee of the Lord, even your small little material, giving up your material attachment, Lord takes care of all your material needs. So this is the example that happened. When I went back to my office, for I don't know, for whatever reason, it was I was maybe diligent at that point in time with my official works and all that. So I was rewarded with a very special award, which kind of, you know, more than what I would have earned in that month. You remember the very first point that I said? I was very attached. Should I spend this or not? But when you do it for the service of the Lord, for your spiritual advancement and connecting with the Guru, the Lord and the Guru would take care of your material challenges also. But you need to stretch yourself with a full conviction. My Guru is always with me. This is my realization. That's my realization. My Guru Maharaj is always with me. Reflect upon this very word. That's the very word which Srila Prabhupada said. That's the very word which a lot of the acharyas have led. So we shouldn't get into the shell that this challenge and that challenge, I don't think I cannot preach, I don't think I can do. My Guru Maharaj is maybe not aware. Probably my humble request to all of the preachers, all of the aspiring devotees who would like to become a preacher eventually, please remember that Lord and Guru's mercy is always with us. And then just to conclude with a ... is I decided to go to New York again and see Guru Maharaj in the Rath Yatra the next weekend. So I again traveled to New York. And the beauty was, New York, very similar situation, but I didn't have the situation with so many details anyway. So the very first thing, I just landed straight directly to the Rath Yatra, and I didn't know where Guru Maharaj was staying this time. And I just went directly to Rath Yatra. He was just getting down from the Ratha cart, and he happened to see me when I was pulling the cart. Then he just said, "Hari Bol," and he called me inside the barricades or the cart rope, and he just went inside and he hugged me and he just gave back the bag and come along. That's then probably some other time we can further share the rest of the pastimes. And maybe one more pastime, probably, if I guess I have some time, Anadi Prabhu. Can I take just one quick one? Yeah, this happened in 2010, if I'm not wrong. This was post-stroke. And during that time, I went inside and I was in the Guru Maharaj's room in Mayapur. I was doing massage to his lotus feet, and His Grace Chaitanya Avatari Prabhu was explaining about the Bhakti Vrikshas that point in time, it was the launch of certain 72 weeks of Bhakti Vriksha manual and all of that, where then Guru Maharaj heard the entire program in detail, how this program works, and asked a lot of questions. And it so happened that he asked Chaitanya Prabhu that, have anyone gone through this entire module so far? Then it so happened that I was one who had gone through that as a part of my whole journey through Bhakti Riksha. And that way he said, here is one person who is serving you now. He's gone through. Guru Maharaj held my hand so tight and he just said, Vaishnavananda, you are on the fastest track of spiritual advancement. That's still ringing in my ears. How merciful he is and how powerful that each ways that he is kind of drawing for each of the devotees are so very powerful to take them in their journey of Krishna consciousness. It's very, very, very powerful. So, yep, with that, probably I'll end it here. Patita Pavan His Holiness Jai Pataka Swami Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Amazing. Awesome. Just took us there. It was as if being in Atlanta and reliving those memories. Panihati is always a special place for all our God brothers, our God family. So, and I'm sure that those memoirs are, as you very rightly said, those keep us together. Thank you again. I think you made like a, sequel. You have sequels for hero number 1, and then you have to have one Dawn number 2, and you have to have one next sequel. So it stops at a point. So you have stopped at New York now. So we look forward for when we can hear that sequel of past times. And we'll keep open for some little questions if your time permits.
Yeah, sure, Prabhu. If I may be of some help, yeah.
Yeah, we have I think Anu Mataji has raised her hands. Mataji, you can unmute and ask your question. Others can put in your questions. Banu Mataji, you wanted to say something, you raise your hands.
Very nice, Prabhuji. Very interesting.
All glories to Gurudev.
Bhanumati.
Yeah, thank you. I can.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, hope all of you are doing good.
Hare Krishna. And we have Ankit Prabhu has taken down on certain realizations. He puts it down. I think we have a question from Pravesh Prabhu. So we'll take it up. Pravesh Prabhu, you want to unmute and...
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I am disciple of Srila Guru Maharaj. So, but my doubt is a little bit, Prabhuji, that not related to the class. So if you will answer it, then I will ask, Prabhuji, if you give permission. And yeah.
I would, anyway, there are a lot of senior devotees around, like Anadi Prabhu. If in case I may not be able to, they may be able to help you. We will see. Let me make my baby little attempt. Please.
So can I ask, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please ask.
Oh, okay, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I don't know, but this is not a very good question. But this thought comes to my mind again and again. So I thought that I should ask this question. Prabhuji, actually, I listen to Guru Maharaj, but I also listen to His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj. And what I see that Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj always tells about what are the things which are going wrong in Iskcon. So his main concern is that how to means he is very concerned about ISKCON, what I have seen by hearing his lectures. So this question comes to my mind that like Bhaktivikas Maharaj, he always says that this thing we should correct these things. These things are not going in a good direction. But why Guru Maharaj doesn't tell about these things? Because Guru Maharaj is the most senior sannyasi in the ISKCON. So this question comes to my mind.
I can say one principal point. Every devotee have their own particular way of presenting Krishna consciousness for the benefit of the whole, whole humanity. Okay, and we should have a very clear understanding first at ourselves. That's what Srila Prabhupada has taught us. Be conscious of yourself. Gradually, you will become Krishna conscious. When we say at this point it's ourselves, that means we need to know what kind of a bhakta we are, Vaishnava K. If I reflect upon this particular word, what kind of a Vaishnava am I, then I would be able to understand whether am I in a situation to compare some of the senior Vaishnavas.
Yes, Prabhuji.
If we, in that understanding, we are certainly, at least talking for myself, we are not in a situation to compare, or we don't know the entirety of what somebody is doing or not doing as well. So we see only during the 1 hour of a class, and we may come to a conclusion that, maybe so and so is not doing certain things or something of that kind. But what we see is not what we should be believing in at that particular incident alone. We should holistically see what is important. So when we see things at a holistic perspective, then we will get more clarity. So very simple step is sadhu margana gamanam. That means we just need to walk the footstep of our senior Vaishnavas, and especially then the Guru, and following their footstep, rather than getting into a state of finding fault at everything. Because if you look at it, this is what is the whole journey of Krishna consciousness. I am very, in a way that I appreciate your boldness to speak this up in a very open way, which itself is going to help you to overcome that challenge. That itself is at the same time, we first reflect upon ourselves before what way are we qualified to comment about anyone else. So that is something we need to, that is a beautiful book by Guru Maharaj himself called Vaishnava K. That would give us the clarity to understand and assess what kind of a Vaishnava we are. Probably, that's something I may recommend. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And please forgive me if you got a question.
No, nothing. I just genuinely felt to help you, so I just explained.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you. Went on.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I am Gokul Rani Mataji. We had a very nice satsang, Prabhu. We are blessed. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Jai. Gurudev ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, so much. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. Jagannath Prabhu, you have, I think there are a few hands raised. Can I take that up?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, I think Lokabandhu Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Vaishnavananda Prabhu. Good to see you. I joined the class late, but then as soon as I logged in, you immediately captivated me. It's like I'm walking now, but then I stopped everything else and I was like, I listened to Vaishnavananda Prabhu. There are a few points I really appreciated. And I just want to reflect on that a little bit. You were speaking about how you could describe the taste of a mango, but it's all about the person trying to taste the mango who can really who can get a taste of it. And I was thinking how our entire philosophy, our parampara revolves around it. There's so many descriptions of how nectarian is the pastimes of Krishna, the pastimes of the devotees. The Bhagavatam is filled with that. Bhagavad Gita is filled with that. This is all descriptions, but we are all we are aspiring to taste it. It's a big gap. And you also mentioned the bridge to gap that, and that was nice. One thing that really struck me was your dedication to your spiritual master, your commitment to Krishna consciousness, and I have associated with you in the past, and I'm still looking up to you, and I would say that's probably the best thing to bridge that gap between the devotee describing how to taste the mango as opposed to you really having that juicy Malgova mango, right? So that immediately captivated me. So that's a very nice thing. I appreciated that point. And also you were saying how Guru Maharaj is always with us, guiding us in our Krishna consciousness. It's just like this comparison, right, where we as Jivatmas who are always accompanied by the Paramatma, but we are distracted by the fruits and so many things. But Paramatma is always giving us that nice shelter. Similarly, Guru Maharaj, the old friend, like everybody says, the old friend is always with us. It's just up to us how we reach out to him, how we take shelter of his lotus feet and understand his more and be a little significant, not insignificant, but a little significant servant where he's going to be pleased with whatever services we're doing. So those were a few things that were really that I wanted to appreciate. Thank you for a wonderful class today.
Hare Krishna. Nice to see you. Yep, there's long, it's a very nectarian thing. All that we need to do is turn our head towards the old friend that you mentioned.
Yeah, at this point, maybe we have a catch in the neck. We don't want to turn.
Yeah, nice. Good.
Hare
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandot Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Yes, Subhahu Prabhu.
प्रभु एक रिक्वेस्ट है प्रभु, क्या गुरु महाराज का ग्लोरिफिकेशन कभी हिंदी में भी ऑर्गेनाइज हो सकता है इन फ्यूचर में? क्योंकि मैं देखता हूं कि गुरु महाराज का जो ग्लोरिफिकेशन होता है मैक्सिमम इंग्लिश में ही होता है, और जो बहुत सारे हिंदी ड्यूटीज हैं उनको बहुत कुछ मिस कर रहे हो, तो क्या कभी इन फ्यूचर कर सकते हैं प्रभु कोई ऑर्गेनाइज ऐसा?
Prabhu, Vaishnav Prabhu, can I take it up?
Yeah, please. You are the best person to take.
Thank you Subha Prabhu. Next week से हम लोग प्लान कर रहे हैं इसी सेम फोरम पे आपको 3 लैंग्वेज का ट्रांसलेशन मिलेगा. तो हम लोग वो प्लान्स में हैं कि तमिल, कन्नड़ा और हिंदी में साइमल्टेनियसली जैसे गुरु महाराज का क्लास होता है, तो नेक्स्ट वीक से हम लोग शुरू कर रहे हैं वो वाला. आपकी आशीर्वाद रही तो हो जाएगा नेक्स्ट वीक. हरे कृष्ण.
थैंक यू प्रभु. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु, दंडोत प्रणाम.
हरे कृष्णा.
सवाल था.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु.
हरे कृष्णा. शांति माता जी. रक्षक प्रभु, you had a question.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Very nice story, Prabhu, of Panihati and Jagannath Yatra also. And in foreign country, that Vaishnava Prabhu has taken a lot of struggle. After that Vaishnava Prabhu met the Guru Maharaj. Very nice yatra. Second thing that Vaishnava Prabhu has taken a lot of mercy from the Guru Maharaj, like he has taken chance for the massage also, and cooking seva. He has done cooking seva with the Guru Maharaj, and he got the prasad also from the Guru Maharaj. That's why he has taken a lot of mercy from the Guru Maharaj. And Guru Maharaj has touched the heart with the Vaishnava Prabhu. That also he got the mercy from the Guru Maharaj. Second thing that Vaishnava Prabhu has taken initiative in 2007, and after that he met to the Guru Maharaj in 2008. After that, Guru Maharaj very well remembered to the Vaishnava Prabhu. That also is very important, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you very much for story today. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Guru Maharaj ki jai. I see one question on the chat which may help everyone. If that's okay, can I take that? Probably as the last question. Yeah. From Pooja Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pramho, I am a sheltered disciple of His Holiness. What pleases Guru Maharaj the most? Yeah, that's a very important question that everyone should know. And the answer goes without saying. It's a very well popular, the very if you have, to my limited observation, this is my thought that I'm just going to share. And the thing which can please Guru Maharaj the most is the preaching. The charity begins from home. You need not have to become us. When I sometimes share this as a preaching, immediately people think that I have to become a big star wall preacher with all these. So it's start it in your small way with the best of your circumstances by offering prayers, giving prasadam to others, and distributing your love and compassion towards others. That's how the preaching begins. It is not just gathering of people is preaching. Like Mahaprabhu's Sikshashtakam says, na dhanam, na janam. We are not just preaching for gathering people. We are not doing a political rally to gather people. Preaching means achar and then prachar. So we need to lead by example, and then we need to lead leading by example as a nice devotee, automatically people would ask, what's the secret of your happiness? Let me just follow your footstep. So as simple as that. So the achar comes through our sadachar. So sadachar is the first step where we need to have our sadachar to the best of the practice always. Then that will lead to achar, then which will eventually lead to prachar. So the thing which would please Guru Maharaj is being a nice devotee, following all your dedicated assigned sadhanas, and share your knowledge that you have gained to as many devotees as you can. That would certainly please him. And I didn't see any other question on the chat. Thank you for sharing the pastime. Okay, the rest all were just a realization. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu, I think
Okay, thank you, Prabhu, so much. I think deep insight answers, and I think the icing on the cake was your last answer. And what else I should say? We'll wait for the New York sequel. So we'll catch up for the next version. Thank you again for our time. And Hare Krishna. Vaishnavananda Nitai Prabhu ki jai. Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, devotees, for tuning in. Please, hey, good to see you, Vishweshwar Prabhu. And next week, once again, please join us same time. Next week, we have Guru Maharaj's Causeless Mercy of Guru Maharaj from 2003 to 2013, Delhi preaching by Venu Krishna Prabhu. So we never know, maybe Subhahu Prabhu has prayed very hard. It may happen in Hindi also. So we never know how prayers work. So please join us, and thank you all again for joining in. One last, maybe we all can pray for all our God family, the bigger one also, many of them going through difficult hardships at the time. So one time, Hare Krishna for everyone, please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Pujamata ji.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hey, hi, Baal Ankit Prabhu, Lokanand. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu ji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Dhanavad.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Krishna to Dhanavad Pranam.
Hey, hi, Baal. Hey, hi, Baal.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hi,
Very
Baal,
long time.
Rachel Prabhu.
Prabhu. Very long time. And I see you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Krishna, Subhahu Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hey, Arendra Prabhu. Hi, Baal. Hi, Baal. Rachel Prabhu. Deepa Mataji. Hi, Baal.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji, for joining.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, I want to ask
Hare
you-
Krishna, Shanti Mataji.
मैं पूछ रही थी कि
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
कुछ साल पहले हम लोग सब डिवोटीज
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
मदुरई गए थे, मदुरई
हाँ जी।